What up, and welcome to Chatting with TCG. If you are new to this channel, we ask you to give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and also tap that bell so you're notified every time we upload a video. Before we hop into the disclaimer, we're going to say, hey, to our Toxicity gang members, if you would like to be an official member of the gang, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, and in the comments down below, drop top, Lord have mercy, drop hashtag Toxicity gang in the comments down below. Now to the disclaimer, if you hear a kid, see a kid, ignore those kids. We have kids around here. We're going to let our kids do exactly what they do, and that is be a kid. So if you hear them, see them, ignore them just like you do your children and your nieces and nephews. Focus on the box up here, and we're going to be all right, okay? So now to the topic. I don't really know how to name the topic, but the topic is going to be, we're going to talk about this younger generation that think it's quite all right to keep continuously dropping their babies off with the grandparents as if it's the grandparents' responsibility. Excuse me, that was so rude of me. But that's what the conversation gonna be about. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Grab you a snack and a drink, and we're gonna be right back.
And we back and we better with another video. So today, like Blaze was saying, we gonna talk about these new generations want to leave their kids with the grandparents all the time. Girl, number one, you laid down and you had them babies. Now, don't get me wrong, a grandparent is a grandparent. They supposed to, come see them, this, and that. However, leaving them with them on a regular basis is not okay. It's not okay. Because you think, oh, I'm leaving them with the grandma, it's fine. You're creating something in your kid. And when they grow up, you want to know who they going to say raised them? My grandma, my granddaddy. Who taught you your morals and all of that? My grandma, my granddaddy. Well, where was your mama? Girl, she was at the club every weekend with Keisha and Rodney and Raven over there all the time. Y'all need to take care of y'all own kids. Them is y'all kids. It's okay to get help sometime, but
Who
not
the
all.
fuck is Raven and Keisha now?
I don't know who Raven Keisha and
She
them.
made
That's
up
just
some
names that
names.
popped in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they popped in my head. But
What's
anywho,
wrong
like
with
I was
little
saying,
help, Destiny?
first of all, Ori, sweetie, there's a difference between a little help and taking your kids over there every single weekend. There is a difference.
Every single weekend is not bad. Every single weekend.
Yes, that is. Or if they have them 1 to 2 times out the week and then you taking them every weekend still. That's a lot.
Who thought that is?
That's
they
creating
can say no.
No, but see, that's the thing, or their grandparents. Most grandparents are not going to say no. They want to see their grandkids. They want to be a part of their grandkids' life. And it's okay for them to be a part of their grandkids' lives. However, that is your child. They have had their kids. They have raised their kids. Their kids are no longer in their home. So don't just come dropping them off because you know I'm going to take them. That's not okay, and that's not fair. That's my opinion.
I agree, because at the end of the day, the grandparents or your parents already raised you. They already went through all of that. They don't want to raise other kids after, like, they're older now. I mean, yeah, they're gonna love on their grandkids and stuff like that, but I feel like as a parent, you wouldn't want nobody else to fully parent your kid at that. Leaving your kids with your parents or whatever the case may be is cool sometimes, but all the time, at the end of the day, your kids are they're gonna gravitate more towards, oh, my grandparent raised me. And like to me, that would be a bad feeling if my kids is just going around like I was raised by my grandkids when I have a parent that's present or that should be present. So I don't necessarily feel like it's fair to my parents or to the grandparents, and it's not fair for the kid. It's not fair for yourself, like that. You're not creating no bonds with your children. You're not necessarily parenting. So at the end of the day, you had a kid to pass them along to your parents. That doesn't make any sense. So that's how I feel about it.
I feel like sometimes it depends on the circumstances where the child is better off in their care than the parents' care in certain situations.
But then, Ori, at that point, you should not have had kids.
Exactly.
That is
Sometimes you don't have a choice, though.
but
Sometimes you don't
some
have a choice.
people
Sometimes that's true. You don't have a choice. And at that point, then that's something different. If y'all discuss that, then that's something different. But you also have to think about the grandparents that have health problems. Like the parents that's just dropping their kids off all the time and they parent has health problems. You don't care about your parent at that point.
Right.
Ain't no way that you could really care about your parents if you constantly dropping your kids off to them. And you know they got health problems. That's not okay.
Well, what's the different circumstances that you're actually talking about? Like, give me an example.
some people, some young people, they lay down, do whatever. They don't do, they decide to have the baby, but they don't have a job. They don't have this, they don't have that. They don't want to live with their parents, but somehow the kid just has to be with the grandparent. And the original parent, they can't take care of it.
So if they don't have
still a choice.
So if they don't have a job, what are they doing that they're leaving their kids with their grandparents?
Do you know there's a lot of people who do that? They out there doing whatever. They leave the kid with
the child is in the stable
and
house.
those are the circumstances, but is that right?
That's not
right.
a legit excuse. Everybody state offer you housing. They will offer you vouchers to get food and everything. That's an excuse. That's not acceptable.
That's definitely.
Mm-hmm.
If you can lay down there and get filled up, you can sit up and take care of that baby.
Right. Now, if you give me a scenario where a person got abused, maybe.
Okay, but get this. Would you rather the child be with that parent and be struggle, or be with the grandparent and be good while they get their stuff together until they're able to?
But the moment you decided to bring this child in the world should have been the moment you got 9 months to get your shit together. You can get a job.
That's true, but that doesn't always happen. So
it doesn't always happen, but it's still not right that you give it to somebody who already raised their motherfucking kids.
It's not right at all. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying it.
No, those are all excuses for people who are lazy and don't want to make a change. Now, if you are in a position where you already have your children and something bad's happened, and then they have to go over here for an extended period of time until you get out of your bad situation, totally different. But if you started out bad and you got pregnant, you had 9 months to get your shit together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what she's trying to say is the kid better off with the grandparent at that point?
But I don't feel like that though, because as a parent, if I didn't already raise my kids, and that's a whole new time. We got these little new bad 2023 children. Children ain't the same from when your mama at this point they done slowed down. These kids learning more stuff way earlier. So now I'm putting the burden on somebody who's older, who is still set in the ways of back then, when these kids is way more advanced. I know 2- and 3-year-olds that can use a cell phone better than their grandmama now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, well.
So are they really better off? Is the question.
No, I don't feel like they are. I feel like
they could either be with a family member
in some area
in the system.
Grandparents just gonna let them be and do what they want to, for one, because that's just the nature of the grandparents. They come to the grandparents' house to be spoiled, not to be raised.
Right, exactly.
And as a grandparent, it should be your choice.
Exactly.
Not be
to accept that right or not to be right. Exactly.
So either way, it's gonna be a bad situation.
A lose-lose situation.
Yeah, because
I feel sorry for the child.
You want an iPad? Sure, I'll buy you an iPad. Here go you a case of iPad and all the subscriptions.
You even get a little pen and everything.
Right.
And so now they just on the iPad. Grandma ain't making them read no book. The grandma ain't making them do nothing. They getting fed 3 home cooked meals a day. Like
okay. Just get that. At that point, they don't want to come back home.
They princess.
My mama don't do this.
I do not agree.
Yeah, it'll be different though.
Circumstances like, what if the parent is like in the military or has a job that keeps them away from them.
Still,
Even
nope.
in the
Mm-mm.
military, they paying for their child to do. That's the government, friend. No,
I mean, yeah, but
no.
what
The
you
only way
But
I feel like it's
also,
accepted
every
if they
day?
get stationed across the seas somewhere. Maybe that.
right.
But other than that, no. Take your child with you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Cause they make
Exactly.
airplanes for me to come and spend the night at your house with your kid and come see my grandchild.
Exactly. I think the the only circumstances that it's okay for a grandparent to have their grandkid all the time is if like you're working, if you're a single parent, you're working and you just absolutely don't have no other way for somebody to watch your kid and you need them to watch them. Not stay overnight all the time, but watch them while you work and then come back and get them. That's different. But when you're dropping them off and leaving them for days at a time, that is a problem.
At that point, that's their kid.
Well,
Right.
we lost Busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
shit.
did. And then you have the parents that be mad when they parents want to take them to court for their kid. What do you mean? This is my kid at this point.
My
What's
kid
the
at this
problem?
yeah, facts.
Yep. So that's how I feel about it. This
Yeah,
shit
that's
ain't
what
right.
I was
I
gonna
said,
say. It depends. Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
yeah,
Oh, I was saying it depends on the relationship that the grandmother and the child have. Because if it's a grandmother that likes to have their grandkids every weekend, then that's something that they would be okay with at that point.
yeah.
Or if you have like an agreement between the child and the grandmother that each weekend we're gonna spend the weekend together and do this, and that.
I don't mind the weekend. I don't necessarily like
So
if
I
you want
think
to
it just depends on the relationship.
yeah, I get that, Sean, and it do.
Yeah, the weekend is 2 days.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
don't mind the weekend. You could stay if you want to stay with your grandma and grandpa for the weekend. Go ahead. What I'm talking about, don't be leaving this goddamn kid in my goddamn house every day, all day, 25
I'm
days.
not.
What the fuck?
No, don't just drop the motherfucker off. Just
No,
leave.
but yeah, some grandparents, love to have their kids and the child like to go to their grandparents' house. I was a child like that. I love being with my grandma. So, I love, yeah, I'm going to grandma's house on the weekend.
So let me tell y'all.
Wait, no. This question is focused towards them. No diaper bringing, no milk buying, not paying daycare. This focused towards them folks, not the people who just giving their kids to their grandparents for the weekend. I'm talking about the ones.
Right, that's what I said.
Well, stop hunching
overstepping.
and you can deal with the problems.
So me, personally, my mom lived in the Dominican Republic for a while, and I was in the United States, and I was living with my grandmother. My dad was also living with us, but my dad was always like working. He was always like outside. So I technically my whole entire childhood was with my grandmother. And when my mom ended up coming to the United States, it was kind of like, okay, give me my child. And her and my grandma were it was a little battle going on there. Like it's to the point where my grandma cut me off. She done broke all my pictures on the damn because I want to live with my mom. But it's like you can't be mad at me because I want to live with my mama. But it wasn't a circumstances where my mama just abandoned me with my grandparent. It was just she was in DR and I was in the United States. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, like these kids nowadays having kids, they just don't want the responsibility and they end up just getting lazy and they're still trying to live their young life, forgetting the fact that you have a child that you have to take care of, that you have to look after. So you want to drop them off to your parents to live your best life because you're still young. No, you should have thought about that shit before you
Exactly. Then what pisses me off is the ones that had one, then did the whole dropping the kid off with the grandparents and going out and doing it. But then you turn around and have another one. Oh,
or a
that's
third
fine.
one. A
Exactly.
third one. Piss me the what?
What?
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. That make no sense.
The starting five for the Bulls.
What you was gonna say, Gua?
She said the starting
Um,
lineup for the Bulls.
I really feel like you have to take care because kids nowadays, especially the younger generations, I'll pick back on Blaze, they smarter, and I feel like they kind of understand earlier. So it's like when you're a parent and you always taking them to the grandparents' house, it can feel like a low-key abandonment. And you don't want to instill that in your child, like, and then when they grow up, they're like, you ain't never been there for me. You ain't never took care of me. My grandparents took care of me. I'm a grandparents baby. I'm a grandma baby. I'm a granddaddy baby. And then, y'all getting in the bickerments and this, that, and third. Like, I raised you, I had you, and so forth like that. So it's like, it comes sticky. So it's like, if you gonna lay down and do it, and the possibility or the consequences that can come out of it, don't lay your ass down or use protection. What the hell going on?
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like back in the days it's different. I know back in the days we a lot of us used to just stay at a grandparents' house. Because I know back in the days you really didn't have daycares. You might have a babysitter, but we mostly been at our grandparents' house. Nowadays, I think some parents they will just throw their kids to their grandparents for them to just to go party and stuff like that, or just to go clubbing, or just to deal with their partners and like that. But I feel like you shouldn't just do that just to do that. And and I feel like these kids is way smarter nowadays, and they be ordering stuff from Amazon off of grandma's phone. Grandma don't know how to use her phone. She sleep.
She right. Exactly.
Taking all the grandma coins out there.
That shit's so trifling.
Yeah, all the grandma. But then the grandparents they softer than what they used to do with us. They softer. They got McDonald's money. They got Chick-fil-A money. Back in the day they ain't had none of that for us.
I agree. 1000% agree.
Definitely. Come on,
So
new generation. Y'all got to do better.
I gotta do
Y'all
better
gotta do
for real,
better.
because at the end of the day, that's not them folks' kids.
Talk
It's their
about these
grandkids.
sorry baby daddies. They be dropping their
But
baby off to the grandparent too.
Well, that
Sorry
goes for both of them.
it goes for both sides, girls
Yeah,
or
it goes
boys.
for both sides, not just females. Them baby daddies be trifling too.
Trifling as hell.
Out here
Mm-hmm.
busting
I
nuts
came to
and
pick up
I ain't
my
doing nothing.
son and drop him off to
Okay.
his granny.
Exactly.
Granny.
Y'all rotating weekends or whatever y'all got going on. Keep that baby when you got them.
Well,
Don't
guess
drop them.
what?
Don't keep them.
I want to know a
Period.
question from the young
For
generation
real,
that
they be
do
like, I
that.
want to spend time with my kids.
My question to y'all
They be
is,
like,
Yes, he drop him off
I
at the
want to
granny.
spend time with my kids the whole time they at grandparents' house.
Right.
that's true. My question for the generation that actually do that is, what would you do if that person was not here?
Send it to the auntie.
Right.
They gonna send it somewhere. There's always a place
That's
for the
true.
baby to go.
Cousin,
Oh,
uncle,
oh, and another question.
friend.
When
Friend.
your kid have a kid, do you want your kid to
Are
goddamn
you
drop
gonna
off
be that
their-
grandparent?
Exactly.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not at all.
But
When
they
you
don't.
want
You gotta
that
think
one,
like them. They're not thinking like that. So it's like,
It don't matter
that's why
what
you
they
gotta
think, and
ask
that's why
them.
we're here to correct them. So in the comments
Exactly.
below, let us know if
You
you
need
agree
to
or
think
yeah,
like
disagree.
that.
Like we say, 9 months. You got 9 months to think about all that. Do a full circle, baby. 360.
Okay.
All that.
And it only takes 30 days to break a habit. So
Yup.
Let us know in the
fix it.
comments what y'all think.
Rebecca.
I got something to say. For y'all deadbeat baby mamas and baby daddies and the grandmas and the kids, y'all better tune in because you can, subscribe because you must, stay toxic, and you better love us. Period.
Not called the grandmamas deadbeats. Get the step in.
Yee.